Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays. So, wake up. These Wake Up Wednesdays are an opportunity for us to re energize and recalibrate towards our plan. And the way that we do that is we pick up a DSD list that we have written down next to us that we do every day. And we remember that our GSD, our Get Stuff Done list, is not a task driven list. It is based on our outcomes, our goals, and objectives so that we can make progress towards those plans. And if we're not doing that, then what we're doing is we're double and triple booked in our calendar. We're just going from meeting to meeting to meeting. People are pinging us all day long, the group chat, the emails, the queries, the DMs, and everything just keeps piling up, piling up, piling up. And before we know it, the morning, the afternoon, the evening slips away from us and it becomes a blur and we're not getting anything done. So, welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays and wake up. Let's recharge and recalibrate each other. I want to talk to you guys today about an article that I posted in the group chat entitled New Year, New You, or Same Old, Same Old. And I'm just going to check my notes here to make sure that I don't miss anything and I have all the key pieces. But congratulations and welcome to a new year. You made it. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a pat on the back. You made it. You did it. It is a new year. It is an opportunity for a new you. And the way that we do that is we're going to put on our strategic hats. We're going to set goals and we're going to make very ambitious New Year resolutions in our projects and our product rollouts so that others are envious of what we are doing. We're going to do that by focusing on 4 key areas. Those areas are number one, personal development, because if you don't develop yourself as a person, you can't work on the next thing, which is number 2, your product strategy. Number 3, your team collaboration. Number 4, your customer engagement. So in order to do that, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, number 1, am I becoming a master of my craft? Am I a master of my craft? And you're going to conduct a personal retrospective of everything that went right, what you aced in the last year, and some things where maybe you fell a little short. Raise this level of self-awareness and see where you can grow so that you can set smart goals. Like we talk about almost every single time, when we set goals, they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. These are SMART goals. We want to set these out for this is what we're going to hit at the end of the year. This is what we're going to hit in 9 months, in 6 months, in 3 months, by quarter. Break those down monthly. And like we would in a sprint, break them down bi-weekly. What we do not want to do, we do not want to neglect how we are feeling, how we're taking care of ourselves, our energy. The idea here is not, well, I didn't hit my goals last year because I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't have a good enough plan, or I didn't track the plan enough. One of the reasons why you probably didn't hit your goals last year is because you were burning the midnight oil, doing too much, and you were neglecting your self care. If you have tremendous amounts of energy and you're feeling amazing, you can take more on. If you're constantly feeling exhausted and drained, you're not going to be able to get your goals done. You're not even going to want to set SMART goals. So don't neglect self care. Number 2 question you want to ask yourself is, what does the course to success look like? What does the course to success look like? And what you want to do here is you want to align your product goals in your project to the company vision. Having an amazing goal that doesn't align to the top of the house, what the C-suite folks are thinking, to what they've said, is not going to make sense. And if you don't understand what the top of the house vision is, then you can't set goals. So you want to make sure you clarify that to the overarching mission. You are a violin, you are playing the piano, you are a very important piece as part of the overall orchestra. And you have to be in tune with that orchestra. So you need to know what the overarching vision is. As a PM, you want to prioritize, prioritize, prioritize. So you want to focus on the high level initiatives that maximize value for who? For the client, who is the end client? What is it that they want? How do we deliver for them? Even if your end client is an internal person, the saying goes, do not try and boil the ocean. Don't just keep throwing shit into the backlog. All right. Make sure you prioritize for the end client, you identify the end client, and you maximize value. Don't chase every shiny object. Like I said, keep your backlog tight, keep it clean. You don't need to chase every trend. You don't need to worry about anything. If everyone right now is jumping on the AI bandwagon, you want to make sure you're using AI smart to build towards the future to save your team time, not just rolling out AI for the sake of it. You want to say, how is this adding value for my team to my end client? All right. The next question, the third item you're going to ask yourself is, how will you foster team collaboration? How will you foster team collaboration? So make sure that you encourage team members to share feedback. You foster team collaboration by having open communication. It's what's called trust through transparency. Trust through transparency. You want to encourage your team to share feedback. Choir sings best when all voices are heard. Can't be singing in the choir if you have a couple folks in the corner that are afraid to sing. You want to clearly, as the PM, it is your job to define clear R&R, not rest and relaxation, roles and responsibilities. You want to define clear R&R. Everyone must know their part. Otherwise, what happens is you have too many cooks in the kitchen. People are running around, the soup gets spoiled, people are running around with knives in their hand, and somebody's going to get hurt. Know your R&R, your roles and responsibility. Make sure you don't have too many cooks in the kitchen. And do not micromanage. Do not micromanage. Do not micromanage. If you micromanage your team, they are going to leave. They will leave, I promise you. Whether if they can't afford to leave on day one, they're going to leave as soon as they can. They're going to talk about you behind your back. Not micromanage your team. Trust your team. If you hover over them, it's going to stink like a skunk. It's going to stink like a skunk, and they will leave. And the fourth and final question you want to ask yourself, number 4, what will you do to win hearts and minds with customers? What will you do to win the hearts and minds of your customers? So do make sure you seek customer feedback. Regularly engage with customers, clients, and end users. Sit down with them in person. Sit next to them at their desk. Go on site. Book a conference room. Do a lunch. Sit with them. Customer is king. Customer is king. And listen to them. Hear what they have to say. The next thing you want to do is you want to deliver consistent value. So now that you understand what they want, you want to exceed their expectations. You want to delight customers in what your secret sauce is. And you're going to do this by also, in addition to sitting with them in person, you're going to send anonymous surveys once a quarter, no more, no less. If you send anonymous surveys more often than that, you're going to annoy them. If you send it once every 6 months or once a year, that is not enough feedback to gauge what's really happening. You want to do this anonymously so that they feel comfortable telling you what they really think, and you want to keep those surveys consistent so you can see the trend up or down over time. By consistent, I mean the same rankings, the same rating style, same questions, so you can gauge these over time. Do not ignore complaints. When you're sitting with a client or when you see anonymous feedback come in, don't say, well, this group of executives doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm going to listen to this group. Or don't say, this is just the analysts and associates. These are the low-level guys and gals. I'm not going to listen to them. I'm only going to listen to the high-level executives. Or this is from the UI team, and the UI team doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm going to listen to the back-end guys. This is really a data issue. Don't ignore criticism. Don't ignore feedback. That is like a ticking time bomb. That's going to blow up in your face. That's going to destroy your trust. And don't be selective with what feedback you do and don't listen to. All right. So like a deli order, let's wrap that up to go. You want to make sure you are setting goals in those 4 areas. Once again, personal development. You have to develop yourself through a personal retrospective before you can work on your product strategy. You want to make sure that product strategy is aligned with the overall company vision. You want to foster team collaboration, number 3. And number 4, you want to make sure you engage with your customers and you don't ignore their feedback. When you do these 4 areas, you will equip yourself to execute in the new year with confidence and a little bit of style. Remember, like Lao Tzu says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So what's your call to action? 3 things. Number 1, identify the areas last year that stole your energy. If you do not have the energy to execute, you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. So identify where you drained your energy and don't do that again in the next year so you can maximize your energy. Number 2, draw a line from your goals and objectives and initiatives to the company's vision. They have to be aligned. You literally want to get on a whiteboard, you want to draw your stuff out, and then draw the companies and make sure you're in a line. If you're running your personal vision, if this is a personal company, if you're a CEO, make sure that's aligned to what you want your team and your staff to do. And number 3, the most important, schedule at least quarterly in-person client feedback sessions. Schedule those in-person client feedback sessions out. So once a quarter, every quarter, you're sitting down with your clients, and after you sit down with them, remind them an anonymous survey will be sent that you really appreciate it if they filled that out. All right, guys, thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for the opportunity to think about new year, new you, and those 4 key categories. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a round of applause. You made it. It's the new year. Let's continue to execute. So welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays, and wake up. Hustle harder, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.